Good evening, everybody. It's great to see so many people with us tonight. We're honored to recognize tonight musical theater students and teachers from across the district, as well as some of our community business partners. Leading our celebration is our Chief Information Officer, Ms. Madeline Noblet. Madeline, welcome.
Thank you, Superintendent Kingsley, members of the board, cabinet, and the very large, wonderful crowd gathered here this evening. We are so excited that you are here. So that I do not steal the spotlight from a very deserving group, we are going to open our recognitions this evening with something that's a little bit different. And so for those who were not able to enjoy the amazing production of Mamma Mia earlier this year, members of our communications department, my colleagues Matt and Philip, who is behind the wall there. So, I pointed to a non-human, but he's there, I promise, and he's wonderful. They have put together just a brief video that will take you behind the scenes of the production, and then knowing that there is a longer video that will be out here soon to allow you to see even more of the joy and talent. So, with that, we'll go ahead and watch this brief video.
In 3 weeks, we built, rehearsed, and created a production of Mamma Mia using students in the cast, in the pit orchestra, in the technical crew, and in the front of house staff from all across the district, and created something that we haven't done before and something that no one school, I think, could do to showcase the talents of our students district-wide.
So can I just say how amazing it was to watch your faces as you got to see all of your friends and colleagues through your work. It was just incredible. With that, I would like to invite my colleagues up to be able to speak in more depth to your success. So with that, I'd like to invite each of you up, and then if we could have all members of the company of Mamma Mia, we're going to have everyone do their best. We'll pretend this is a small stage and have you all try to fit here so that we can celebrate you up here together, if that sounds good. So go ahead and come on up. Squeeze in.
So my name is Melissa Flail, and I'm the Performing Arts Curriculum Facilitator for the school district. And I sort of served as a coordinator for this project, which we've been dreaming up as a group of staff for almost 8 years now. We had to pause because of the pandemic. We were set to do this in 2020, and we finally made it happen this summer. So I want to just thank all of our students. This is a representative group, which we do have representatives who attended all 5 of the schools that were in the production, which was our 4 comprehensive high schools and Timnath Middle High School. And then our staff, which has been totally amazing. And of course, our district leadership and our community for your support of the arts. And we've appreciated it for so long, and we will continue to appreciate and rely on that support of the arts. And we're working really hard to make access to the arts opportunities more available to all students. So I want to just really use the words of some of these students. Some of you will recognize your quotations about what this experience did for them. So as just a short overview of what the production was, we had auditions on the teacher workday in May and cast the show, had people sign up for the crew, cast the pit orchestra, who you did see were on the stage, which was an amazing experience. And we had a student leadership team that was really amazing as well, stage managers, crew leads, assistant conductor for the pit orchestra. So that production was really put together basically in 3 weeks worth of rehearsal and shows. And we're so grateful to the community for coming out and giving us a sold out run. And I see that Kelly from the Coloradoan is here. He was a big help too in giving us some publicity in that regard. So thank you. Yeah. So what you see when you see a production or this video or these students standing here is obviously connected to the excellence that we want to promote here in Poudre School District. And I'm just going to mention some of the connections to our district ends and our district priorities. So what you see really fits with the district end of going above and beyond, right? These students did such an amazing job. It felt like a professional production. It's how a company would rehearse for a professional production in that short of a time frame. And so here's just an example of what a student had responded on one of our follow-up surveys. It was such a great experience to be surrounded by so much talent and passion for musicals. I definitely walked away from this with higher standards for myself as a musician. So these students are inspiring each other to go above and beyond. But what you might not see when you look at the show is the connection to our district priority of literacy. Some of the students recognized that the things that helped them were an application called Rehearse Score, where they could rehearse on their own using their music literacy. Dance literacy, because our amazing choreographer, Amy Tyler, and assistant choreographer, Malia Schoenfeld, had put together dance videos so that the students could come prepared, knowing all of the dances, knowing all of their lines, knowing all of their music ahead of time. It wouldn't have happened without that, so excellent job, all of you. And here were some of the comments that students made about what helped. Learning my lyrics, practicing the necessary songs, and probably the biggest literary skills of all, this program will help with my thinking and communication skills. So that's pretty awesome. Graduating with options and success in a changing world are both district ends. Here's some quotes that apply to that. Mamma Mia gave me an opportunity to learn lots of new skills and discover more of my capabilities within theater. It was an amazing experience that let me learn more about theater, the other schools, and my goals in life. It was so much fun and was very beneficial. And someone even mentioned it helped with time management because it was a huge time commitment. And how to effectively collaborate with others. And it will help prepare me to work in the world. So these are the words from our students themselves. Foundations for success, including transitions. We accepted incoming freshmen as well as outgoing seniors. And some of those incoming freshmen really had a lot to say about that. It helped me adjust to going to high school. I learned a lot during this program that will help me excel during the school year. It will help me because I will know a few people going to my school before I start high school. As an incoming freshman, I met lots of people that I can go to for help and have friends. I have created a super big support system to help me this year. And someone else mentioned it helped them with socialization skills. But the biggest thing, aside from just the amazing experience and the amazing product that I think we were able to share with the community, is connections and mental health and belonging. If any of you were here when these students walked in, and teachers, you saw them joyously greet each other because they go to all different schools. And it was a really amazing experience to have that camaraderie. I wasn't even there all of the time, and I feel so connected to all of these students and all of our staff. So it was really, really a special thing. And so here's some things that relate to that. I am so grateful for the connections this musical has made between our theater programs. This experience was amazing. It connected all different people who might not have been friends to work together for this opportunity. This was the first musical I'd ever been part of, and it was amazing to see how in a couple of weeks, with all the collaboration, energy, and connection between each other, we had the chance to make this show possible. It was a wonderful experience. I loved the sense of community that fostered friendships between schools and the positive atmosphere that made the entire production time well spent. As someone who has participated in the pit orchestra for musicals at my school in the past, this was unlike those shows in the best way. Us musicians were included in everything, even so far as us being on the stage instead of under it, making this experience even more impactful. Everyone involved truly wanted to be there, dedicating their talent to make an excellent show. And then I'll end with this one. This was such an inspiring and impactful experience because of how collaborative it was between people who don't usually get the chance to work together. Learning from peers and teachers who had different perspectives and backgrounds was so meaningful and rewarding. So I think I just want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you to those of you who came to the show. Thank you to those of you who helped spread the word. And above all, thank you to the parents who got the students there, the students who dedicated basically 3 entire weeks solid of their summer, and our staff who worked so hard over the years to get this planned and then also did such an amazing, awesome job. I love you all. You are so amazing. And if
If I could, I just want to step in and say thank you so much. I was privileged enough to get one of the last tickets to be sold at your shows, and I am so glad that I got that. It was just so much fun. The energy in the building was amazing, kind of like the energy here tonight. Just it's really great. So thank you for all that you do. Thank you for being a part of theater. Theater will always be a part of you, and just thank you so much for what you all do as well.
All right. So we'll segue to our next recognition for the evening. Those of you who may have seen and experienced these before, we love to be able to shine a spotlight on our community partners and businesses, organizations that come together and help support our students and staff to experience the best experiences in the classroom, in school, and experience tremendous student outcomes as well. So with that, I would like to go ahead and hand the mic over to my colleague, Nick Peterson, who oversees partnerships and volunteers connected to our Career and Innovation team, to go ahead and spotlight many of the partners that are here, as well as some who were unable to join us this evening for their support through our teacher externship program. So with that, I'll go ahead and welcome Nick, and then we'll have each of our partners, I think, come up in turn. And then if I may propose that at the end, if we could do one big group photo with everyone who was part of the externship program, that would be wonderful. So Nick.
All right, thank you so much. This summer, 15 educators representing a variety of roles and levels across PSD were able to enrich their practice by spending 40 hours working as an extern in a local business. The intention of the program is to build bridges between education and our community and business partners, and for educators to bring what they learned to benefit students. The externs you would see on screen, but you can see them on the website, were chosen out of a record number of applicants by our participating business partners for their compelling ideas for how they would use the experience to help students graduate with options. Several of our externs and partners are able to join us tonight, and a few of them would like to introduce themselves and share more about their role in the program and their own experience.
I am way too tall. I'm going to have to hold this up. So. My name is Yvonne Myers. I work at the Fort Collins Area Chamber of Commerce, and prior to that, I worked for Columbine Health Systems. And this program was actually a brainchild of the foundation of PSD. So at Columbine, we participated, and sometimes in the summer, we'd have 4 externs, and it was amazing because the teachers who come, teachers are self-reliant, strong people who aren't afraid, who are creative, and when they show up for 40 hours, you get about 80 hours of work out of them. Thank you, Vanessa. And they also come and say, I didn't know you had more jobs than nurses or doctors, or that you had graphic designers, or that you had arborists, things that work at your business that they didn't know about. And many teachers have not worked except for being a teacher, right? And so they've been very faithful to that work, but don't know what's happening in the business world that's changing all the time. So that connection is super, super great. So when I got to the chamber and I met Nick, and come to find out, he plays the euphonium and I play the string bass. If you don't know what those are, then you better look them up. And we found out we knew each other really well, and I said, we need to bring the teacher externship program back. And he said yes, because he was one. So it was super helpful. So we said maybe by next year, and by hook or by crook, last year we did it with about a 3-month notice. So I attribute everything that's happening to Nick for sure. We took a teacher extern at the chamber. Our extern last year wanted to come back for this year, but we said, you're amazing and great, but we want to plant more seeds and have more flowers go out into the world, so we didn't pick her. So we had Vanessa this summer, who was amazing, who came to us from Centennial High School, and my whole purpose in picking a Centennial High School is so that she could learn about the work-based learning that we're doing and can impact those students that she participates with. The side effect is that she learned about what Chambers do, because many of you in the room probably don't know either. And so she can tell you, you can watch her video. So we are super grateful to all the businesses who stepped up, the nonprofits who stepped up, and the Poudre School District for pulling this together. Nick and I also helped bring some legislation forward to sort of embed this so teachers can get CTE credit and foundations can accept money to pay for this program. So we're grateful to be here, and on behalf of all the folks who are here, and there's others that are going to speak, thank you. Thank you for letting teachers do this, and thank you for the business community for stepping up. And we get to learn that teachers are amazing as well, and their students get to learn how amazing business is. So thank you.
Well, in keeping with the height, I'll follow your lead, Yvonne. But so Yvonne mentioned the PSD Foundation. Somewhere in my journey a few years back, I was privileged to be a part of the PSD Foundation. And one of the opportunities that I learned in that experience is how important it is for educators to understand the outside world if students are going to understand the outside world. If you think about it, teachers are really good at school, they go to school, and they're in a school. And they don't often have the opportunity to go out and really experience changes that are occurring all around us in industries. So just that exposure, when you put a teacher in it, and Yvonne talked a little bit about how they're hardworking, amazing people, but from my lens, there's also one more thing I want to add to it. They're very entrepreneurial, and they're very caring and involved and passionate with their students. And so when you put that all together, what you have are when teachers are able to experience something and learn about what goes out on in industry and better understand what they're preparing students for, the transformation starts to be integrated and happen in their classrooms. And so at Otter Cares, we're the corporate foundation for OtterBox. We hosted 4 externs this year. Jason Cunningham from Fort Collins High School, Sarah Kress, counselor at the Mountain Schools, Emily Pipkin was at Tinmouth, but now a part of TSD's staff, and then Jenny Bose from Dunn Elementary. And with those 4 educators, one of our goals is to say, we want teachers to see that jobs are out there, and oftentimes we go to businesses like OtterBox, and we don't think about the nonprofit world, and it's full of jobs. And it's also representative of an ecosystem that really makes our community thrive. It serves so many of our students, it serves so many of our teachers and families and communities. And so what we wanted to do is put a little twist on the externship program and allow educators not only to see into our business and why having a corporate foundation is so important, and why we want to give back in our community, but also to give them an opportunity to really understand how the nonprofit world benefits us as citizens in our community. So what can they do with that information? Take it back to their students and create that next generation of makers and givers and doers. And so we were so blessed with the externs that we had. They were really engaged. They were involved in our company closed to open volunteering day, which was really fun. They got their hands dirty and did lots of good volunteering for 8 hours in a day. They also were able to learn a lot about the jobs in our company. But they also got to see how nonprofits work. They spent a day at the food bank. They spent a day at Animal Friends Alliance. And they got to see what's out there and what opportunities exist for students. And our hope is that they can take that experience and go back and really bring something a little different into what they're doing in their classrooms and integrate that idea of how being generous and empathetic and kind fits right into the skills they have. So thank you for that opportunity to host some of your teachers. It's a privilege on our respect, and we're appreciative.
Hi, I'm Mike Estergaard. I represent CSU's Energy Institute. I picked up the job. Okay, good. We're following the trend. I work for Education Outreach for the Energy Institute, which is a kind of a organization that connects all the different colleges of CSU under the idea of making renewable resources useful for everybody. One of their big pushes is for educational outreach. And so I had taken the job June 1st, and then about 10 days later, I met Charisse. So, but my boss was at the time said, you know, are you okay taking on this extern? I mean, we've got plenty of places to put her. And it's like, no, I want a teacher with me as I'm learning how to do this job. So, everything at that building, that's this quiet little building on the top of Old Town there, is amazing, and you just open it with your big eyes, but everyone who works there doesn't seem to realize how great it is. So we spent a whole 7 days looking at these massive engines that everyone's like, yeah, that's the big engine, it's from Caterpillar. You're like, no, it's really big, and it really makes a lot of noise, and then we saw the College of Engineering as well, and all the things that they were up to. Charisse and I then started working on, well, how can we connect what's going on here to everything that we see out in the teacher world. And so our connection was really about finding that way of taking what's out in the business world and connecting it back to the educational world. And she was fantastic, and she can come back anytime she wants. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just a plug. We're also in the midst of creating a STEM truck, which we're going to be moving around as a mobile classroom throughout Poudre District. And Charisse and I have actually been working on a couple modules going with that. Thank you for reminding me. Oh my gosh. My boss would kill me if I didn't say something. Thank you so much.
So I just wanted to say how appreciative I am. As a doctoral student at CSU, this was an amazing opportunity. And I now get to plant that seed in my middle school students. They're excited. We have several field trips lined up. So all of my classes get to go to CSU labs, and they get to sit in those labs and do hands-on work with the ambassadors at CSU Engineering Lab. And I'm so excited. And so I just want to say thank you.
Hi, I'm Cass Ponsalo, and I am the Behavioral Health Pathway Lead at the Futures Lab. Over the summer, I had the absolute privilege of completing an externship with Summit Stone Health Partners here in Larimer County. During my time, I gained valuable experience and insight into the field of behavioral health, working alongside dedicated professionals who are committed to making a positive impact on the lives of individuals who have mental health needs and challenges within our community. As we all know, those needs are great, and we continue to be witness to the demand for behavioral health services and support. Summit Stone is definitely leading the way, and this externship provided boots on the ground experience that I know will be foundational as Poudre School District launches behavioral health as a pathway opportunity for students in the spring. And I'm excited about these future behavioral health techs and social workers and co-responders and therapists and countless other important careers that we'll get to have these students learn those trades and start to serve in our community. I can't wait for the partnership to continue and engage our students in this ever-evolving and dynamic field where every day presents an opportunity for the betterment of our community and our behavioral health needs. So thank you so much for the opportunity.
Hi, I'm Jill Alexander. I'm a mental health specialist, and this is Ash Neufeld, and this is Joyce Sullivan. My externship was a collaboration with United Way, with Alliance for Suicide Prevention, and with Out Boulder County, learning about LGBTQIA youth leadership. I got to receive training through Alliance for Suicide Prevention. I also got to help plan a youth leadership retreat for high school students. My externship overall furthered my ability to support all students in Poudre School District. So thanks for this opportunity.
I want to thank you all, or I want to thank all of you that made this externship possible, and particularly to you, Jill. It was truly a pleasure. As you may have guessed, based on 3 separate organizations coming together to share an extern, collaboration is essential to this work of improving the mental health of all students. We are hopeful to collaborate with PSD more moving forward, and we are eager to see how community organizations can come together with the district to support our youth.
Hello, my name is Amy Snyder, and I have a coffee shop, Cups Community Coffee. So our externship focused on continuing to grow our high school student involvement with the shop. And we're a family business. Our kids went to Bowder, Lincoln, Pooter. We still have one at Pooter. And so we saw firsthand how important it was. We really threw them in. They were like my first staff. So we threw them into it, and we just saw how important and enriching that was to have teenage kids learning how to work. And so we began hosting PACE and ACE students through the district. And what stands out most to me is the support and structure that is in place to host and facilitate teachers and students from the district with businesses. I think I'm one of a handful of small businesses that's a partner, but it's so important, and it just makes it really easy to put your energy into programs when the people that you're working with also are working as hard as you are to make a difference. So I really appreciate and thank everybody that supported us through the district and all of you guys for supporting this program. Thank you.
Thank you to all of you for coming. If you want to find out more about the program, you can just Google externships PSD, and it'll be the first thing that comes up, or you can browse your way through the partnerships website on the PSD site. All of our externs from this year and previous years have really cool stories to tell about how what they're doing impacts students and impacts PSD's priorities. So I encourage you to look into that, and if you or your business, if you're out there listening and you want to participate, please reach out to me. My information is on the website. So thank you very much for listening tonight.
On behalf of the Board of Education for Pooter School District, I'd like to thank all of our community partners for partnering up with us and providing opportunity for our children. And Nick, I'd like to especially thank you for taking this from what was really small to what has become a really deep bench in our community partnerships with all across the Fort Collins area. So I'm so grateful for that, and I'm grateful for our partnerships. Thank you.
If I can address our guests just really briefly before we come down for a photo opportunity. For those of you that might not know, I'm Brian Kingsley. I'm the superintendent of schools here. And I'm just so proud to be a part of this joint venture with you, whether you're a part of the chamber, one of the individual organizations that became a part of this, or one of the PSD staffers who leaned into these opportunities. It's really transformative work. You know, as educators, when we go into classrooms, we focus on looking at 3 things with compassion. One is the teacher's knowledge and skill. The other is the content that's at the center of the lesson. And the last thing is the brilliance that our students are bringing into their classroom experiences. Your externship opportunities are having direct influence on pulling on all 3 of those levers to ensure that they're relevant, that they're centered on compassion and empathy, and most importantly, future focused, knowing that our world is changing, that the problems that our society is grappling with are continuing to be more complex and evolving. And because of your partnership, we as a system are simply more prepared to ensure our students graduate with options. So I couldn't be more proud with our collective team to be a part of this with you. And just want to say thank you so much for everything that you've done.